Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. You want your 17 cents? Okay. So I work as a delivery driver. Pizza, burgers, subs, wraps, etc. Been doing it for over a decade. Before you judge, I managed to get a mortgage and own my home with this profession. Work hard enough, and it's a solid gig. I've never worked a gig where you've been given pocket change. Just singles. A couple years ago, before the whole COVID thing, I was on a delivery, and her change was a couple dollars and 17 cents. I gave her her singles, and bid her a good evening. She said I didn't give her all her change. I told her we aren't provided pocket change, so don't have pocket change to give. She makes a big deal. Threatened to call my boss and get me fired. I told her he would tell her the same thing I did and repeated, "We don't provide pocket change." She then takes a picture of me in my car, and says she's going to call the police, and have me arrested for theft over 17 cents. I laughed and said I might have some change in my car. Hearing this news, she sat down smugly, and started eating her pizza. I throw my change in my cup holder sometimes. I was drinking a frozen water that day, and there was a lot of water in my cup holder from condensation. So I counted out 17 soggy pennies. I walk back up to her porch where she's eating, and give her 17 wet, soggy pennies. As I walk back to my car, I hear her tell her friend, "That bitch gave me pennies." I just chuckled to myself, and said, "Yes I did." She still called, and complained to my manager, who got a good laugh out of it. He told me I didn't have to give her pocket change, and could have just let her call. I told him I knew. She was just being so rude about it. I decided to comply to the best of my ability. Waitress complies with manager's unsanitary decision. This actually my mother-in-law's story. It occurred in the late 70s. She was working as a waitress in a small restaurant. One day during the lunch rush, she drops a plate of food on the floor in the kitchen. She asks the cook to prep a replacement. When the manager comes over, picks up the food off of the floor, puts it back on the plate, and tells her that there is nothing wrong with it, and to go serve it. She protests, but it's been on the floor. The manager tells her, "Go serve this plate or you're fired." So, she takes the order out to the table, and sets it down in front of the customer, and announces loudly enough that the entire restaurant can hear, "Here's your food, but I wouldn't eat it if I were you. I dropped it on the floor, but my manager told me to serve it to you." Anyway, she turns around, toodles back over to her manager, smiles at him, and says, "I quit." As she turns around to leave, the entire dining room is pushing back from their tables, and leaving without paying. Okay, if you say so. Back in the olden days, I had a supervisor who spent her time trying to get me in trouble. For some reason, she got it in her head that I was after her job. I come in one day and am told that from now on I am to do only the tasks she tells me to do. Then she has me sign a form stating that I understand that I am not to do a specific daily task until she tells me otherwise. I know she did it only to see how I would react. Up until then, there were absolutely no issues with the way when tasks were being completed. Okay, no problem. Well, this work could be skipped for a day or two. If it wasn't done by day 3, it would start to affect everything else. At the end of the day, she leaves for a 2-week vacation without telling me to complete the work. So guess what I did? Actually, what I didn't do. That's right, that daily task sat and sat and sat, because I was the only one trained on how to do it, and it wasn't being done. Many other tasks couldn't be completed either, and we fell further and further behind. This was way before cell phones, so no one could reach her while she was gone. When she finally came back, the poop hit the fan. She tried to go to the higher-ups to get me fired, so I pulled out my copy of the form I signed. Guess who got in trouble? Not me. In fact, that form got torn up and removed from my file. After that, I went back to doing things the way they had been done before. The rest of the time I worked there, she would spend her days watching me through the crack in the door, and trying to catch me doing something wrong. As far as I know, she's probably still on the hunt 30+ years later, lol.